Welcome everybody to the 2024 Mazda MX5, also known as the Miata. And yes, you're probably wondering, another Miata? Again? You just drove one last year. And yes, you're not wrong. But why will I leave an opportunity to drive a Miata when it's given to me? For 2024, they have also updated it. Well, sort of. You can see that it looks mostly the same, but yes, there are some updates. The keen viewers will be able to notice it. So for 2024, this is now called the ND3, which is the third iteration of the ND generation. Similarly to what Porsche does for its cars like 991, 991.2 and stuff like that. So it's basically the same car, but with minor updates here and there. Let's focus on the changes in a bit. So, the changes for the 2024 ND3 MX5. Some of them are visual, some of them are behind the scenes under the mechanicals of the car. So, the visual changes up front. Well, the headlights are slightly different, so the DRLs were in the bumper, which I really liked. This one will take some getting used to because the bottom part now feels blank. But yeah, overall the design is still same, so I can totally see myself getting used to the new looks very soon, the more I see on the roads. You'll also notice that on the front of the bumper there is a small plaque. So yes, this also means that the MX5 now has adaptive cruise control, so you can take this car for more road trips and still be relaxed because you can set the distance through the car ahead. It also has blind spot monitor, lane keep, everything. So it's looking out for you, which the older MX-5s never did. It was much more raw. This is much more comfortable. You also have an updated head unit screen, so it's much nicer. It's a bigger screen with wireless CarPlay, and the resolution and the display graphics is so much better. It feels so much more worthy of the price tag. This was one of the biggest change that I've always wanted the MX-5, and now finally for 2024 it has been implemented. The taillights have also been slightly revived, so the design is mostly the same, but now it's an all LED unit, and the pattern of the indicators and the brake light is slightly different. But again, only keen viewers will be able to notice that change. This also has the Grand Sport package, so as you can see, it has the beautiful BBS wheels with the Brembo brakes, and I think it just looks so good with the gunmetal paint of the wheels, especially with this paint, the Soul Crystal Red Metallic. I think it's one of the best combos to have. And in fact, this is the first MX-5 I had with proper tan interiors, and it does feel very plush, I have to say, which I never thought I'd use a word for the MX-5. The electric power steering has also slightly been tweaked here and there to make it feel more weighty at speed but much lighter at city speed, so you can maneuver this small car much more easier. The exhaust note has also been slightly tuned to make it a bit more raspy, a bit more louder, and you can sometimes feel that when you're driving with the top down, which you always should do, right, with an MX-5. I mean, I've been doing it, and I see no reason why you should drive this car with the roof up unless it's raining, but we've been blessed with great weather this week, so top down it is. Now behind the wheel of the updated 2024 Mazda MX-5. So let's get the numbers out of the way. This has the same 2-liter Sky Active G naturally aspirated petrol engine, produces 181 horsepower, rear wheel drive, 6-speed manual, and has a limited slip differential as well. This car weighs close to nothing as well. It's about 1.1 tons, which is practically nothing for a car. So let's see how this car drives. Slot into first, and you let off the clutch, and you notice the clutch is a bit heavy and the bite point is a bit tricky to get hold of. Let me just roll that window up so there's better wind. Yeah, so once you drive, it sounds good. You can hear the updated exhaust note they have for the ND3. It sounds a bit better, but yeah, if I put a gear down and we floor it, and it hits its 7,000 RPM red line in no time. It's such an easy car to drive fast, and with the roof open, the experience is so nice. It's very sunny. It's been very pleasant weather today, and I've just been driving with the roof down, with the Targa top down, and it just feels so nice. Chuck it into a corner and you do feel the lightness. However, it is a bit softly sprung, so you do feel a bit of body roll as well, but it just grips to the road so well. These 205 section tires, 17-inch, they just grip so well, and the car is not unsettled. It only gets unsettled when you enter a mid-corner bump at the limit. Then you can feel the rear dancing around a bit, but otherwise it just feels so nice to drive. And just slot it. It's a bit notchy, the gear lever, but it's something that you can get used to the more you drive. But yeah, I've just been enjoying this car just in all scenarios, driving around some beautiful roads. It's just fabulous. It's just been fabulous. I have no words. Every time I drive an MX-5, I just love it, and this experience has not been any different. I just love chucking it into any corner and just letting the torque, it has lots of mid-end torque and low-end torque, so you never really have to floor the engine in any capacity to get anywhere. Just normal dabs of the throttle and you are very much on your way, and up to very good highway cruising speeds, I would say as well. It's very, very easy. And now with the adaptive cruise and everything, it just makes it so much more livable. I absolutely love the MX-5, and this, as I said, this experience is no different. It's just fabulous. Mazda should never ever kill the MX-5, because this is what still shows that Mazda knows how to make a fun to drive compact little sports car so perfectly. In conclusion then, the 2024 Mazda MX-5, well, I've always liked the MX-5 a lot, so the changes for the 2024 iteration really didn't make my experience any worse. In fact, it made it much better, and it feels much more worth of the price. The better infotainment, the adaptive cruise control just makes living with an MX-5 much easier. Speaking of price, this specific RF GT with the Grand Sport option, with that includes the awesome BBS wheels and the Brembo brakes and everything, and this color, this Soul Crystal Red Metallic, is a $500 option, but this option is non-negotiable for me, because I think the MX-5 looks the best in this color, especially in the bright sunlight. But yeah, $51,000 with all the options is definitely very, very steep for an MX-5. But is there really any other option that available in the market that goes directly against the MX-5? I mean, there are lots more sporty cars, but are there any that are convertibles and that can help you experience the weather so beautifully the way the MX-5 does? Not really, and that's kind of why the MX-5 has been so successful over the years. There is no direct rival, and I see this car ruling its segment for even much longer.